Hello, everybody. Mike from Southern California again, and you're on the mic. So, on today's episode, I want to start out. So, yesterday on Twitter, Emma Rose had shared a news story about a 5-year-old who was supposedly may have been put on the official sex offender registry for hugging a classmate. Now, it has since been proven that was just simply clickbait. There was an issue that happened at the school where I guess the school was having issues with them respecting boundaries. It also came out the kid has autism. But even though it was a clickbaity story, there are some things that we do need to take from the story aside from the clickbaitiness and all that. And it's stuff that goes even back to the very beginning of the whole Vic situation, because there is a bit of a push right now, particularly at conventions, to just try to eliminate natural affection, where people are basically they're afraid to even give their own friends hugs because they don't know if like 5 or 10 years down the line they're going to say, oh, that hug, oh, you sexually assaulted me or you harassed me. I didn't feel comfortable because of that hug. It's a sad commentary on society when we go down that route. When we start criminalizing and sexualizing natural affection, that's a major, major issue there. If you can't show simple affection for your friends, for your loved ones, what's that really bringing our society to? Studies have shown that babies thrive when they're, after they're born, when they're held, when they're touched. And just in case there's some loonies out there, I'm talking about affectionate touching, not sexual touching, okay? Anybody even remotely going anywhere near sex for this topic has got a screw loose. And maybe need to have their head examined, because that's not even what I'm talking about here. Aside from the fact, of course, that there's a segment of society that thinks a hug or a kiss on the cheek is sexual. People on Twitter seriously need to get a life. Let their that's kind of the problem when you're not interacting with people. When all you're doing is interacting through a computer screen. You lose that personal element that's needed to grow as a human being. If the majority of your interactions are through a screen, then you're in trouble. Just plain and simple. Because as human beings, we all need personal connection. We all need to feel connected, whether it's to your church, whether it's to an anime community, gaming community, some kind of niche community, sports team, whatever. We all need that personal connection. That's what makes us human. Animals can go and just plant their seed wherever the instinct has them do it. But humans, it's not like that for us. We need the interpersonal interaction. So when you have this one segment of society that starts saying, "No, you can't hug, you can't kiss them on the forehead because that's sexual harassment, that's sexual assault. You're invading their space, you're invading their boundaries." It's a little ridiculous to take it to such an extreme. You should really just let things happen naturally. You know, it's one of those things where when we're when we actually have to have a conversation about a 5-year-old autistic boy being placed on the sexual offender registry, even though it's been established that the story was clickbait. Okay, it was fake news. Okay, even if that wasn't per se what happened, the fact that we even have to have that conversation is a damning statement on us as a society altogether. Especially when now I got in. I was in Senpai Home's Discord about a week or so ago. I was actually on his live stream as well. And we were talking a little bit about this, and somebody said, "Oh, it's not about hugs and kisses." Well, in the big situation, it may no longer be as much, or that may not be the primary issue at hand. But it is an issue. Yes, part of it is about hugs and kisses because of how people are choosing to interpret it. It is about hugs and kisses when you believe, like, if you were to give a hug or a kiss on the cheek to some to let's say your girlfriend, let's say somebody you're dating, nothing serious, just one armed hug or a kiss on the cheek. What happens when you two break up and she decides, and it's a bad breakup? Have you ever heard the saying, "Hell hath no fury"? Like a woman scorned? She comes back 5, 10 years later after you guys broke up. Well, no, I didn't feel comfortable with that, so he sexually assaulted me. Just to stick it to him. There is just something genuinely wrong with people when you start criminalizing and sexualizing natural affection. It's something we all, I think, need to really look deep into our hearts about and really ponder. Because it could be one of those things that could lead us to a very, very nasty civil war that I don't think none of us really want. Filled with so much distrust, animosity, bitterness. Think about it. Especially when, I mean, look at how, think about how ridiculous some of this stuff gets, because there are people who are on the sexual offenders registry just for simply peeing in a bush. They weren't actually going after anybody. It's just simply because of the fact they happened to decide there's, even in the bushes where they were somewhat covered, you know, somebody, they now have, because of the fact it involved their genitalia, therefore, they're a sex offender. That's kind of ridiculous. You know, this criminalization and sexualization of natural affection. Now I know the whole peeing in the bushes thing, probably that's more of a side note, but it's more an example of just the absurdity of all this, of the absolute absurdity of it. Like I said, the fact that we have to even have such a discussion is quite a damning thing on us as a society. So I just hope and pray that you all really ponder this. Really ponder it on your heart. That do you really want to live in a society where you have to worry about giving somebody a hug or even a friendly peck on the cheek? Now that doesn't mean that I think you should go out and just completely, hug and just anybody or whatever. I mean, yes, you should try to respect boundaries. We should try to still respect reasonable boundaries. But we shouldn't have such tight boundaries either that we really close ourselves off from the world either. Because as I said earlier, it's even been proven in experiments that people, as a people, we thrive when we can, when we can show natural affection, whether that's like when you see your friend, much like Vic does a lot of times when he sees somebody is in distress and maybe needs a hug, and he needs to, let them know, hey, you're not alone in this. As I said, it's just a damning thing when we start criminalizing and sexualizing natural affection. Anyways, I figured I'd said enough about that, so let me just get to closing this out. If you the links are below if you want to contact me directly. My Twitter handle will be down there. You can DM me, or you can always comment on the videos or comment on my tweets. I will usually get back to you as long as it's respectful. I always enjoy the conversation as long, of course, as they're respectful. I won't tolerate any harassment or taunting or anything like that. And I have had to delete comments before because people have made some pretty nasty comments at times. Or comments that were meant more in a taunting manner, not really making a legitimate point. So just bear that in mind. I haven't had the issue of late, so I'm thankful for that. And just so you guys know. Also, I'm promoting a bunch of the dub companies. Guys might want to check them out. As I always say, Funimation is not the only game in town. There are other dub companies out there that have IPs that you might want to check out as well, and other voice actors you can get to know and maybe invite to conventions. And always remember too, guys, that if you want certain guests at conventions, you need to contact you need to contact your local conventions or whatever conventions you want to go to. You need to let them know, hey, we want this person here, we want that person there. That's the way to do it. Also, I'm promoting, of course, a couple GoFundMe's and Tug That Umbrella guys Indiegogo, so you guys might want to check those out. As always, guys, never feel like you have to give. If you are able to and it's on your heart to do so, please consider giving. If you've already given, please consider giving again if you're still, if you're able to. And if you can't, you can still help out by sharing the link. Maybe there's somebody in your network of friends who may see it and say, yeah, this looks like a good cause. I may want to help out too. You never know. No pressure. And also, if you like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. I always look forward to the conversation with you guys. I love just being able to talk to people and give perspective and help them see things maybe they won't realize. It's kind of a thrill at times to have those type of conversations. And with that, I just want to remind you guys of the cons going on this weekend. Hawaii Con is going on this weekend, so you know Vic's going to be there. For those of you going to cons this weekend, you want to check out my con review to see if see who who's going where. See what guests are at the con you may be going to, and also tomorrow night, of course, is my preview, the voice actor profile preview. His voice is big and small. Deborah Rabai, aka Angora Dab. She's a New York-based voice actor. I hope you guys are there. Anyways, with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.